From love letters to pineapple tarts to my personal favorite, spicy prawn rolls, the temptation to overeat during Chinese New Year will be a huge one. In today's Living Well segment, we'll be getting a few tips on how to avoid overindulging during the festive season, especially in foods that are high in salt, sugar and fat content. When you overeat, it's not just a surge in calories that you need to worry about. Overeating for prolonged periods may also lead to health problems later on. Well, let's get some healthy advice from Derrick Ong. He's an accredited dietitian and founder of Eat Right Nutrition, Consultancy and Clinic. Welcome to the show, Derrick. So first of all, what is considered overeating? Is it eating to the point of feeling totally stuffed?
Well, actually, everyone has a different point at which they're overeating. So you kind of have to look at to see what you're used to eating, in a regular meal, and then if you're eating beyond that point, then then you would consider that as overeating. So it's kind of a subjective measure, but then if you're feeling that you're really very full to the point where you just start feeling uncomfortable, then at a point then it becomes what we call like overeating. Yeah, but again, this is very individual. It varies from person to person.
I see. Well, Derrick, are there any health implications, both short-term and long-term, of overeating?
Of course, in the short run, you would tend to gain weight, because overeating, I guess, we have satiety cues in which it shows that, it's your body's way of telling you, oh, don't eat so much, So if you tend to overeat, then you will, of course, tend to gain weight because you're taking too many calories. And then that's on a short-term viewpoint. And a longer term viewpoint, of course, you may increase your risk of developing other diseases like diabetes and heart disease, which goes along with excessive weight gain. Yeah. So really overeating is something that you don't want to be doing too much of on a regular basis.
And so, Derrick, with Chinese New Year coming up, what are some ways for people to avoid overeating yet still enjoy, of course, their favorite Chinese New Year delicacies?
Yeah, so a couple of tips. First of all, not to starve yourself before going to a house, and then because if you do that, you'll tend to kind of overeat when you do the visiting. Another thing is actually to portion out your treats. So, for instance, rather than taking the goodies directly from the container, you take out what you're going to be eating, like one pineapple tart, a small piece of bak kwa or something, and then you eat it, and then you finish it. Yeah. The other thing is to eat things mindfully. So we know that it takes about 20 minutes for the signal to go from your stomach to the brain to tell you that you're full. So if you eat something mindfully, eat it slowly, mindfully, your tendency of overeating will be much, much less. Yeah. And then you take less calories as well. So mindful eating, and then of course, remember to hydrate yourself adequately. A lot of people confuse thirst with hunger. And so, if you hydrate yourself adequately, then your tendency to eat more will actually be less. So those are kind of a couple of tips you want to have when you're going, during this Chinese New Year.
Well, those are some practical tips indeed from Derrick Ong, accredited dietitian and founder of Eat Right Nutrition, Consultancy and Clinic. Well, don't be too strict on yourself this Chinese New Year. Let yourself enjoy a prawn roll or two. I certainly will. But be sure to make every bite count. If you want to know how many calories those contain, check out our guide on CNY snacks at str.sg/livingwell.